Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in today for Living 904. Today I am joined by Christina Austin. Christina is a marketing expert with her own boutique, A Marketing Boutique, here in the 904. She's going to talk to us today about all things branding and marketing. Please welcome Christina.
Hey guys.
Hey Christina.
Thank you so much. How are ya? Thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah, thanks for being here today. So no, I found you actually, it was actually your business card at a real estate office, and it caught my eye because it was just probably one of the most creative, colorful business cards I'd ever seen, and kind of followed you on Facebook and social media and really learned your business. So I was like, when I wanted to do this, you were top of mind, because you just have such a great way of marketing, and I just as a regular follower. So, can you tell us a little bit about how you got into marketing?
Yeah, thank you. So I was a marketing major, so started right there. My background was in property management. I started there for 5 years and then segued into real estate. I've been in real estate for about 8 years. And maybe around 3 years getting into real estate, I realized that people were just gravitating towards me for marketing help, because at the time social media was starting to come out. And because I have grown up with social media, I was probably one of the very first users. It just was something that gravitated towards me. And I was like, what can I do to make this my marketing plan? And the reason why I really media as a marketing plan for my particular business, was my real estate business at the time, was because it was just kind of evasive. It was very personal. It allowed me to be myself. It allowed me to show people what I do on a daily basis, how I can help you. And it just allowed me to basically broadcast and showcase my business, my services, and what I could do for you. And it's on a very passive, like I said, non-evasive approach, which is kind of my style in general. So when I was in real estate, I just wanted to, all of a sudden I talked to my business coach one day and they were like, put a dollar sign on it. And so a marketing business was born. And since then, we've just been helping agents and other local business owners build their marketing plans and start their branding and showcasing that on social media. It's been really rewarding.
Now, and you say the non-invasive, and I think that's, and I feel like I can gravitate to that, especially having followed you, with your real estate pages, social pages, your marketing pages, your personal pages, that non-invasive. Could you even go into that further? Because I think that's really a misconception. I think when people think of marketing is, they think of that standard commercial, like always, always, always. And so
it's always sales. Yes. I get where you're going. So my approach is, all you really need to do is 3 business type posts a week. What I mean by business type posts is your how-tos about your services, your sales posts every there where you're selling your product or your service. You're trying to close people, trying to get people to pick up on the phone. I do believe you should post every day, but I think that you need to be posting about what you're doing in the day and how you're helping people from more of a personal basis, so that when people do go to Google, because that's what they're going to do now, and guess who owns the search engines? All of the social pages, right? So please, people, build your profiles up, make them look good, because people are using Google to find you. And if you have well-built profiles with resources available and people that you're connected to in the community, people are just going to naturally gravitate towards you. So that is really kind of the message that I give people during our consultations when we're talking about building a marketing plan. And guess what? It's the new year, so time to get them implemented. So that's what we're here for.
Yeah. So, I mean, on that, 2020, thank God, long gone.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah. the dumpster fire is being put out. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, for you, your team in COVID, I mean, and it's funny because I know realtors, I know mortgage guys, some just kind of took a break, and then others
Yeah.
slammed their foot on the job with marketing. I mean,
Yeah.
for you and your industry, your team, I mean, what was y'all's goals in 2020 with it when it all
Well,
started?
yeah, when it all started, I'll be honest, I wanted my branding and website to be expedited, but I mean, we kind of had to ride the wave when the pandemic hit and pivot just like everybody else. And really one of the biggest struggles, and I know other business owners can sympathize with this, is we're creative minds. So we are most productive, most successful in a collaborative, hands-on, personal environment, and that was just taken away from us. Like we had to go to the phone or go to virtual, and it really was kind of hard for us to be able to collaborate with our clients and then just to share ideas to make the best product for people. So once we overcame that and things started to open up a little bit better, I mean, I got to tell you, this is why I talk about the power of social media and everybody going virtual now and needing your profile set up, because that's what saved our business. We were able to just convert all of our marketing to social media, having video series, giving people information across those live streams versus face-to-face. And honestly, we ended up saving time and probably ended up getting more information out there over time just from having these platforms already set up for us. So a couple other goals that we wanted to do was just in general, just be a little bit more diverse across, obviously with me being an agent, I have a heavy clientele in the real estate industry, mortgage included, insurance included. But one of my goals was definitely to get more nationwide and to get across industries. And that has brought a level of information because now I'm just working with even more business owners that have even more ideas to bring to the table. And it's just really kind of brought our level of quality up. And that's kind of what we were doing. Was 2020 was year of alignment, get the systems in place. This year we're ready to just kick it up and take off. So it's exciting.
Yeah, no, I love that, a year of alignment for 2020. And so for 2021, you know, you said systems, like so systems 2021, what does that look like?
Yeah. So definitely I want e-systems out there. And when I say e-systems, there's two different systems that you want to have in place. Okay. So obviously you want to have your e-blast. That's just when you need to make announcements, short e-blast types of information, exciting announcements, new news, things like that. You can do that on MailChimp or your favorite Constant Contact, your favorite platform of choice for that. Email systems, however, hopefully the business that you have can offer an email system to you. If not, purchase one immediately and set up something over the course of 8 weeks that sends information out on a drip campaign to your client. And my favorite thing to do is to really not make it terribly business related and make it more community oriented. So that's a lot of the systems that I'm putting in place. Is I want to start advertising campaigns on Facebook, on Google, partnered with other people in the community, because especially with us being a pandemic time still, people just don't know what to do right now, and we're losing a sense of community, or it's moving into a virtual nature. So this kind of helps, satisfy the need to keep and preserve our community. Is by partnering up with other business owners and helping each other sell each other's products and services. That's been the most effective way to sell business. So moving forward into systems, get an advertising system on either Facebook or Google. I've also heard things about Amazon and Nextdoor, depending on your business. I haven't yet looked into them, but those are something exciting that I'm going to look into to implemented. And then, of course, make sure you have your regular pop buys and social social mixers in place to reach out to your clients. But again, I guess those are kind of on hold right now with the pandemic. Well, those can be tabled for later. Those are some of my ideas that I've had.
Yeah.
For
now, when you guys bring somebody in, I mean, and I guess when it comes to marketing, you know, I hear a lot, I see a lot, but it's like, how does that work for me? I mean, how do you introduce somebody into, you know, obviously what everybody knows they need to up their marketing game, but it's like where to start. You know, and so I'm sure that's a conversation you have a lot. Trying to teach somebody why.
Yeah.
I mean,
first thing I do is I go straight to your profiles. Because like I said, people are going to use the Google search to find who you are, what you're doing, what people are saying about you, and your products and services. So I check all the social platforms, Yelp, Nextdoor, whatever I can get my hands on, even if I don't use that platform. I'm not really a Twitter user. I don't check LinkedIn as often as I should. Pinterest, I kind of just don't use anymore. It's okay. I still make sure that my profiles are set up because you never know who's going to be Googling you and what they come across. And like I said, they own the SEO world. So they're at the top of the list when people are Googling your name. So just have your profile set up. That's like where I like to start. Then I move to the website, right? That's the next place that's going to make yourself look credible as a business. Some of the things I look for on the website: pictures of you, pictures of what you do, videos of what you do. Those are actually the first things I gravitate towards beyond the information that you have. So get your gallery set up or implement that in there. Also, just have a great headline of what your business is and what you can do. It's that simple, because a lot of times I go to websites and I'm not really actually sure what they're offering me or what the value is. So answer that in the beginning.
Yeah.
I mean, have you run into that before where you're just like, you're Googling a website and you—
oh my gosh, a coworker emailed me, and, you know, a guy, you know, similar roles, you know, like you're out there meeting, you know, the loan officer, you're talking sales role. He emailed me and I just happened to scroll down. He didn't have a picture in his signature. I'm like, that's so obvious. And then I've seen loan officer website. I mean, there's the happy couple template picture, and it's like, you go to the About Me page, and I learned this like a month or so ago, like 72% of people go to the About Me page on a website. And you go to an About Me page, there's no pictures, there's no names of anybody, just like, hey, call us, and here's a number. And it's like, and
it's generic information. It's not personal. It's like written like a report that you did in 8th grade.
And I guess, you know, so maybe that's a current trend, or maybe that's just a mindset people have, is like, oh, I just need to, like, it used to be when websites became a thing, it was like, oh, just have a website. But this idea that not to personalize it and connect it. I mean, obviously that's probably still a trend. I mean, what are other trends that you're seeing? Maybe good trends, bad trends, things that need to die?
Well, I definitely see people miss the boat with that headline. So I've been on people with that lately. But also, as people are scrolling, just like you would on a social news feed, think of your website like a social news feed. You want to have it kind of engaging. You know what I mean? So that's where you have the opportunity to throw in those personal pictures. Also some links to either other areas of your page. I like to implement freebies. I think those are the new where you're offering like a guide, something of value, something that's going to benefit your customer, and it has to be just completely for free, because you want people clicking on your page, right? And you also want people to last on your page. That's what Google is remembering when it's evaluating your customer from this, you know, from the algorithm perspective, is it's timing how long your customers stay on your page. So just think about how you want to engage your customer and how you want to encourage them to give you their contact information. The only way they're going to give you the contact information is if you're giving them something. So you need to figure out what your customer wants, and that should be on the homepage of your website. Other than that, like I said, bring the community into it, and then like leave all the business stuff on the service tab, the product tab. They'll start clicking around, and that's what you want them to do anyways, is start clicking around on each page. So
that idea of, and I feel like this is a new development, obviously you being longer history in marketing, but that idea of, and I feel like I'm seeing, well, yeah, I mean, we never master
evolution when it comes to technology.
Yeah. But that idea of being like connecting with somebody on a personal level and not just having to be business, is that kind of like a new thing? Because I feel like it's very new. Like I'm to the point that I'm seeing like major companies really try and change their marketing.
So here's the example. You know, you found my business card, you connected with me, and you got to know me through social media. So the second that you and I called each other for business or for this podcast interview, for example, I feel like I already know you, and you feel like you already know me. So the conversation's coming easier. This is the same concept that can translate into any business conversation, or when you're dealing with a new prospect or a new client. If they're casually following you on social media and you are talking about what you're doing in your life, what you're doing in your community, and what you're doing in your business, then they're just going to naturally get to know you. So when they are ready to pick up the phone and ask for help, the conversation's gonna be so much easier, because they're gonna be like, oh, you just posted something that reminded me to give you a ring. Again, top of mind. That's kind of something that you said that I do for you. And that's the whole point of social media. It's a nurture system. So it's just a good way. I always tell people to, as soon as you meet that new prospect or have a new client, first thing you wanna do is just connect with them on social media and get them on your email system. And don't be overbearing. Give them content that they want, not necessarily business related. A lot of times you're always getting people to get to know the community. So keep your content related like that. And when they have questions about your product or service, that's when you deliver the information. You know what I mean? Wait till they ask for it. Don't be overbearing at first. That's kind of my whole philosophy on that. And social media allows me to be like that.
Yeah.
It's like
what's that?
Cool approach.
The cool approach. Yeah. Well, you know, we're told, especially in a sales or active engaging role, like always be closing, you know, the Alec Baldwin, you know, coffees for closers style. Yeah. And so that I think we're far more comfortable though, as people take, I'll find you.
Well, so you can always be closing on social media. I mean, that's the idea of engagement. I think people like do these posts and then they forget to like comment and ask people questions and then answer people's questions. Like that has to be done. That's where a lot of times I see people drop the ball. So I'm definitely trying to encourage people to amp up the engagement. Like you do have to start implementing in your marketing plans like a couple of hours to just engage with people. And if you don't have time to do that, then hire out. And that's kind of something that we can do for you too.
Yeah. What would you say is probably a common myth people have about, you know, your profession that you would love to debunk?
Oh, gosh. Well, the first one is everything's easy and everything takes 2 seconds for you. And I'm like, whoa. Yes, it just so happens things do come naturally to me because mainly me just growing up in the environment of social media and having a natural interest for it, and then loving how it watching behaviors on social media. It's just interesting to me. But anyways, yeah. So wait, what was I talking about? What was your question?
What would be a common myth that you would love to debunk?
Oh yeah, that's right. So back to it. Yeah. Often people think that social media is easy. It's not, it's hard. It's okay. Read through the prompts. And also it does take time. It's extremely time consuming. This is why big corporate companies are having actual social media departments devised of several different people that have to take care of each platform on their own, because it takes a lot of time. So just know that you need to be aware of that. You need to implement the time yourself into your marketing plan Monday mornings, Friday evenings, at the end of the week, in the middle of Wednesday, whatever it is. And if you don't have that option, definitely hire out. But that's definitely a misconception, is that everyone thinks our job takes 2 seconds, is usually what people say to me.
Where's my purse?
I know you can do that in 2 seconds. I know they don't literally mean that, but
yeah.
Other than that, people also get a little bent out of shape with the whole privacy of social media, and being worried about talking about their own personal lives on there, or even bringing their personal lives into their marketing plan. Mm-hmm. And I think that that is a whole new concept. I'm a big believer in marketing yourself, like you as a brand, and then your business. Like, get your customer, get your audience to gravitate to you as a person, and then, you know, mention why you as a person have this business and how you're helping yourself, your customers and the community. People just don't like to put their personal business out there, and I get that. But I really think that if you develop that into your marketing plan, that it'll just make your brand way more successful.
No, that's actually really encouraging, because even in, as a local, my industry is mortgages, is trying to learn and use social media. What does that look like? I see examples, but yeah, it's a bit of a mountain to learn. So that's actually really encouraging for you to be like, look, it's hard, and just, and I guess it goes back to whenever I hear people talk about social media is consistency. Consistency is the most important thing. So understanding practice. And what?
And practice.
Practice. Wow, that's really good.
You literally just have to keep working at it. You need to slow down when the prompts happen, when they tell you new things, stop what you're doing, go through the prompts, try to understand, and then try what they're asking of you. Just give it a whirl. You can't lose any money. You can set up an ad for $1 a day. You can shut it off whenever you want. There's really not that much risk in just giving it a try.
Yeah.
So that can lead me into a whole nother misconception. Facebook advertising is expensive. It doesn't have to be. So
there's smarter ways to do it.
$1 a day, a 30-second video about what value you can bring your customer. If you can run that for $1 a day in a month, and then have that consistently going, you'll end up seeing results. But I have to warn you, don't run advertising unless you are going to do the engagement aspect of it. You have to engage with your customers. That's how the algorithm works. It expects you to get likes, comments, shares, for your post to be safe, for you to keep interacting with the people who are interacting with you. So if you're not willing to do that, then Facebook or social advertising in general is not going to be your probably best mode of action. It would be better to invest in Google advertising, which is not necessarily a social network, but will also get your information out there. So
I heard
advertising doesn't have to be expensive.
Yeah. I heard somebody put one time is that like social networking is just like networking real life. Nobody wants to talk to the guy who's like, hey, here's my business card. Here's my business card. They want it. But the person who follows up and says, hey, I was thinking about you. I'm checking in, hey, would this interest you? And like being a person, and then they're like, just take that, and put it on social. And I always thought that was very powerful, because again, that in your face advertising nobody likes. So
that's not exactly my favorite strategy. It does work for some businesses, but I know for people who have a personal relationship with their customers, social media advertising is very, very important.
Oh, that's really good. And I know you've dropped some like really great gems. What's something you think more people, if somebody else wanted to get into marketing, or approaching something, but know about your industry, if they were wanting to get started, what's something you think they should know or maybe, prepare for?
Well, they definitely need to be pretty well rehearsed with Adobe products, Adobe Creative Cloud, having some InDesign, Photoshop, and Illustrator experience is just really it can elevate your business because you can just make a really professional product like at your own hands. So, and honestly, that's how I started my business, was on Christmas one day. I just taught myself the Adobe products. I had no experience. I just had the interest. I knew I could do it if I put my mind to it.
Yeah.
And I taught myself. So you don't have to have marketing experience. You just have to have the drive and the ambition and the interest to be able to get started. And Adobe will walk you through that. The other thing that's really helpful is Canva is like the platform of choice for all marketing things. Definitely get to know basic Canva and the team level and the business level Canva, because that is just an excellent platform and that keeps evolving as well. Really, if you have those two things in your back pocket, besides just figuring out what your customer wants and if you can offer it, you just put a price on things and you can really just kind of get started. So, I mean, that was my experience in getting into it. Other than that, you just need to have people that are your cheerleaders. So once you find that good relationship, get them to help expose you.
Yeah.
In your business.
No,
and that's how you can kind of kick off. Honestly, like marketing, a lot of people are getting into marketing right now. So, and that's kind of what I look for with people that I'm hiring. You have to be super innovative, super creative, avant-garde, clever, and just ready to like learn new things, because I think that's one of the biggest things. If you just don't have that mindset to be a forward thinker, marketing's probably not going to be your style. So
yeah,
it just depends.
Well, even like,
I mean, I already forgot what I was talking about at one point in the conversation. So you'll know you're in marketing if you forget what you're talking about as you're talking, because you're just always thinking of a million things.
Yeah. Well, even just like being a business owner and you're like, I'm just going to do this. And you put yourself through a crash course of graphic design and here you are 8 years later. So that's awesome. So
well, that was actually, so my marketing, so real estate was 8 years, 5 years ago. And actually we just celebrated our 5-year anniversary was when marketing came into my marketing business came into existence. So, but yeah, exactly. I didn't have any design experience. I had business experience. I went to a business school. So I've done a business plan, I guess. I mean, I didn't remember it or anything. I really had no idea what I was doing was the point. Yeah. I just wanted to help people and I knew I could. So you just got to get started. You get over the fear, or you use that fear to just like wrangle it in. And Google just makes everything so much easier these days. Just Google it. There's tutorials out there. Go down the YouTube rabbit hole. You can pretty much get a marketing education online right now.
Yeah.
Wow, that's exciting. That's how awesome. I learned. Yeah, just start from this. I think my first design was actually in Microsoft Word, and I had a conversation with myself, and I was like, this is not going to be efficient enough. So that's when I taught myself Adobe. So
you recognize that, yeah, there's a better way.
There's a better way. Yeah, it's all about that. That's entrepreneurial skills. I'm sure everybody has a story like that in their back pocket for sure.
Yeah. So for you, I mean, now you grew up here in Jax or you came to the area?
Actually, no. So I have been in the area for 8 years, pretty much the same as my real estate license. I lived kind of all over. My roots are I lived in Tampa. Moved to Marietta, Georgia as a kid, but I'm pretty much from New England. I'm from Massachusetts. That's where I did pretty much all my schooling up there. So I also lived in Chattanooga, Tennessee. So I don't really know where I'm from, but I'm back to Florida and I'm here to stay. So I'm almost a Floridian again.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you've been here long enough. We can count you as a local. So for you, what would you say is the best kept secret of the 904?
Oh, Riverside.
Oh, okay.
It's
Love
not
it.
so much a secret anymore though.
No.
But yeah, so oh man, I had to come up with something better than this. I'm
You're
on
like,
the spot though. No, okay.
yeah.
Well, the reason why I'm shouting out Riverside right now is because I lived at the beach the whole time and I just moved up here. And I guess I've been toying with this idea for 2 years. And when I finally did, I just realized how many cool mom and pop, and again, that word community, the sense
Yeah.
of community that Riverside has, and just also the sense of like business owners. Like so many people have such a strong drive to make an impact in the community over here. And I just love it. I love hearing about everybody's stories and stuff like that. So anyways, I hope I saved my answer a little bit.
Yeah, no, that's a great answer.
I'll
I
post
was
a
actually,
better one on my social pages. Follow me.
no,
Oh,
I was
the
actually in
tiki
the same
bar.
boat.
I'm going to
The
this
what?
new tiki bar tonight. Do you know about it?
No, which one?
It's a very exclusive tiki bar.
Very exclusive.
Yes, so it's a reservation only.
Oh,
Let's
this
see if
place is legit.
it just opened and it's going to be the next new secret out there. So I'm
Okay.
just going to leave that out in the open. Y'all can use Google or Instagram to find it. In the meantime, I'll post about it because I'm going there tonight. But this tiki bar is supposed to be a pretty cool new Jack's place.
Hotspot.
Check out. Yep.
Awesome.
To
Well,
be
yeah, I'll
announced.
definitely have to check it out. So,
Yeah.
well, what is a great way for people to connect with you?
Social media.
I
You can
mean, I
also
kind of
text
answered
me.
itself, but yeah.
Of course, you can always call me. My phone number is on my business page. My business page is A Marketing Boutique. You can just simply search for me that way. My handle is also A.Marketing Boutique. You can find me on Instagram. I'm on those pages quite a bit. So we can definitely have a conversation on there and I'll give you my phone number. But that is the best way to get a hold of me for sure.
Awesome. Well, we'll make sure that all of your information's in this down below. So, Christina, thank you so much for being on the show. Thank you for dropping some really great gems, like I said.
Thanks.
And
Appreciate it. If I can
yeah,
help anybody with their marketing plans for 2021, we are ready to help.
awesome.
All right.
Well,
Thanks for having
everyone,
me.
thank you. Thanks for watching Living 904.